You. Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Maiden, spin your circle white, weave a web of shining light. Stag and hawk, bear and wolf, bind us as one. Mother, spin your circle red, weave a web of glowing thread. Earth, air, fire, and water, bind us as one. Wise one, spin your circle black, with the wisdom that we lack. Moonlight, sunlight, starlight shimmer, bind us as one. Ladies, spin your circle
Right.
weave
Leave
your
your
web of dark and light. Earth, air, fire, and water, bind us as one. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. It is once again in divine grace, gratitude, and honor that we share with you today this beautiful event in celebration of the spring equinox or the fall, wherever you are in the world. So happy spring, happy autumn, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Wendy Wolfe, and I'm here with my beloved fiance and host, Dave Yelen, and all of you. I welcome all of you today. This is such a joy. It's been a little while since I've been online and we've done an event like this. So I so appreciate all your love and support and all of these beautiful faces with us today. So one of the things that I've been sharing on my channel, if you're new to my channel, I speak light languages. I sing them, hand sign them, channel a variety of different energies and entities. But really, what it's all about is understanding that everything's connected, everything is one. All that is all one. We are all that make up all that is. We are all the expressions of Source. We're all the lights of Source. We are all the reflections of God having its experience through us. We are the stories of Source, the songs of Source. Each and every one of us has a beautiful, unique verse in the entire symphony of Source. And when I began my Languages of Lights channel, it was starting out guided one day in the forest, in the woods, walking my beloved canine companion, now transitioned into non-physical reality ranger. And he and I began the channel. I just heard the voice one day saying, speak these light languages, these songs of Source, sing them, whatever comes to you, and just show nature, show how everything's connected, how the plants are the kingdom of this planet, and that when you speak to them, you're here, when you walk among them, when you're in the woods, in the forest, among the trees, no matter where you are in the world, when you are near a plant, you hear music and you don't even know you hear it. When we're in nature, it's part of us. It's singing to us. It's a part of our energy exchange, what we eat, what we breathe. The trees breathe what we breathe, and we breathe what the tree breathe. And so we can't exist without each other. And so it was all about showing that everything's connected and that all of us have this ability to literally tap into infinite intelligence. All of us. It just depends on what your particular focus is on a particular moment, in what you and in what you connect with. Um, I so much of the things I don't share with you. Even this morning, I had such an interesting connection with another race of beings on another planet, that these are all things that have been part of my expression since the day I started this channel, and I've been doing this since for 6 years now. So I want to thank all of you for your loving support. All of you that have joined in every time in any of these hangouts. And if this is your first time, thank you so much for being a part of your family, reuniting with your family. And so one of the beauties of putting ourselves out there and expressing our highest joy, like I did with the light languages, and I was scared to death, had never made a video, wasn't on YouTube, and it truly was guidance from I can't even say really, because there was so much happening and the downloads and the information. And so it was a combination of angelic starting out connecting with the angels, and then realizing there was so much more out there, and then understanding multidimensionality, finding, connecting with our ET friends, families, the hybrid children. So all of this is all melded into all of what I express. And so, but a big part of this is how we as humans, through plant essences, through even drinking the tea from these plants, how it is that when we connect with earth, with the plants, with the soil, with the elements, how do we connect to multidimensionality? How do we connect with our parallel lives and higher selves through plants? How do we do that? And how can we teach each other that it really is that simple? It really is that simple. And how they can hear us speak. They all have eyes. They have a sentience about them, that when we interact with the plant world, we become the sage. We have the ability to walk into a room and clear the room with our essence, and know that we are bringing the sage into the room simply by walking into the room. One of the beauties of sharing, and this is one of the things that I want to express and Dave wants to express with all of you, is to share everything. And because you never know who's out there listening, waiting, wanting to hear what you have to say, to give you permission to be more of you, all that you are, to connect with the multidimensionality that you are, to connect with your heart, to understand what chakras are, and what does a plant have to do with a chakra? What does color have to do with any of this? What does light language have to do with any of this? So it's all connected. And this is part of what I love to share. It's my highest joy to share all these things. And there's so much to it in bridging spirituality with science, because it is the same thing. This is physics, you guys. This is just physics, but we're expressing ourselves. And in so many ways, I've got over 1,000 videos. I do private sessions. Everything's by simply by sharing what I love to do, and that is what I love to do. So, if these messages help you navigate through your day, figure out how to find yourself a better job, how to navigate through a relationship, how to understand what it is that you came here to do. That's what we're all here to figure out together. And so by sharing myself, I get to meet these amazing people, and one of them, and so many synchronicities with this, but it's beginning with the idea of white willow, and willow has been a connection for me, the willow tree. I've had willow trees. I've shared this in lots of my videos. So when I met Astara and that her white willow healing, it was like immediately we were drawn to each other. And so when we had and we just met, God, has it really only been a week or two? And it's like I was like, oh my God, we have so much alike to share. She has so much beautiful information about plant medicine and shamanism, and how we heal from that. And we call healing raising our vibration. And so it was an instant connection. And I said, you know what? I really want to do something live for spring. And I would love for you to do something with me and share your knowledge, and Ostara and the goddess of the spring. And so we talked about plants and plant medicine, and we thought, wow, And then a lot of synchronicities with the deck of cards that this magical herb oracle deck. So it just so happened that we thought the dandelion, what a perfect plant to talk about and honor today, along with spring. It's yellow, it's vibrant, it's the first ones that the elements, the bees want to to connect to. And so it just and the detoxification properties from it. So that's how the tea, and then she said, well, I just happen to do tea ceremonies. And I said, wow, that would be so amazing and beautiful if you brought your light and a tea ceremony here. And so I wanted to welcome all of you. I wanted to welcome Astara, White Willow Healing, and her sister Ray. Thank you both for being here. It's such an exciting time for me. And I wanted to welcome all of you today too, and everything that you bring and all your guides. Thank you. So take it away, Astara. Thank you. Please introduce yourself, say hello, and just say however you want to say it. And thank you, Dave, for being here and helping too. And he's sharing all kinds of, you guys, dandelion photos and stuff so we can help get in the energy of it. So hi.
Thank you so much, Wendy. I'm so excited to be here. This is a first for me. I've never done anything like this before. So thank you for sharing and leading the way. It's so amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's been crazy. We literally met about a week and a half ago. Within the first 10 to 15 minutes, you said, you know what, we need to do this together. And we made it happen. I don't even know how. So yeah, so grateful to be here. I don't even know where to start because there's so much to start with, but you know, maybe I'll just talk a little bit about what I do and how I kind of came to be, because I think you did mention that would be kind of cool to talk about. So
absolutely. Oh, and I wanted to mention too, I don't mean to interrupt you guys, but welcome. If you guys want to there's a little raise hand at the bottom. If you want to ask questions during the chat, please let us know. Dave will be watching. We're going to be watching in the YouTube live chat as well. So if you've got questions for her, for us, just comments, let us know. So we will be watching the best that we can. So I just wanted to let you know that too. So thank you all so much. And if you do come in the room, you know, please do keep yourselves muted so that we all can enjoy the broadcast. Thank you.
Thanks, Wendy. I think one of the things that has also been coming up lately, which is great, actually somebody who's here with us today has been asking me, Amy, but I think many people have questions too about, you know, what does it mean to be psychic? What does it mean to be a channel? What does it mean to be a witch? How do I do that? You know, who is that? And it's amazing because, you know, I've spent all these years exploring that in myself so that I can share it with people, which is what we're doing today. So I am a person who, you know, I was born an empath. I was born psychic, if we want to use those words. I don't use those words, but you know, channel of the divine is what I prefer, as is Wendy and Ray. And actually probably all of you that are sitting here right now, to be very honest with you. But we don't understand what that means, and we don't understand how that works. And so we go through life confused that we know things about people that we think everybody knows about them, that we feel things about people that we think everybody feels about them, that we know things about spaces and objects, and we feel things about spaces and objects, and we think everybody knows these things. And in a sense, everybody does know these things, but there are some of us that are a little bit more sensitive and a little bit more in tune to that. And we usually have challenges in our life along the way because of that. So for me, it was basically understanding that the way that I was already the way that I needed to be. And this was what played into me doing healing work and being a guide for people. Was I didn't have to learn how to be psychic. I didn't have to learn how to channel. I just had to remember that that's what I am, and that it's okay to claim that, and just kind of step into everything more and more as I have claimed that. So it was the same with, you know, working with plant medicine and doing the shamanic Wiccan stuff. It's like, oh, how do I be a witch? What is being a witch? What is being a shaman? And it's like whispering in your ears, you already are that. And again, same with many of the people here, if not all of you. And this is, I guess, the core fundamental, you know, root of everything that I help people with is just understanding we don't need to take a class. We don't need to read a book. We don't need to study videos even. We just need to be. And the more that we claim that, oh, sorry, that kitty is so cute in the corner there. We don't need to study this. We just need to allow ourselves to be it. It's surrender, allowance, and trust. And so, you know, working with the plants and stepping into the earth-based worships and shamanism and Wiccan, or I mean, I don't even use the word witchcraft because I don't even really know what that means. And I don't think anybody really knows what that means either. Hollywood maybe thinks they know what it means, but is really just connecting to our Earth Mother and connecting to the divine and allowing that communication and connection to work through us and with us. And every single human being has this capability. Our indigenous brothers and sisters all over the world have remained connected to it more. And now the rest of us are realizing that every lineage, no matter what color of skin you have, or no matter where you come from in the world, every lineage has earth-based worship. And it is about the remembering now and coming into that. So this is why I'm really excited to be working with Wendy, because her and I both really have these understandings of this remembering and allowance and claiming who we are, not needing permission to claim who we are, not needing permission to call yourself shaman. You are a shaman if you understand where the directions are. You are a shaman if you know what the elements are: air, water, fire, earth. If you sit on earth, if you sit on the earth and enjoy that experience, you are shaman. So right now I'm kind of playing with the idea of looking for new words for witch and shaman, because they are essentially the same. And I don't like the connotations and the energy behind them. Because, you know, the world has an idea about that right now. So I'm going to see if I can come up with something for everybody, and Wendy can share it if she wants in the future. But because really we're talking about listening to the plants, as Wendy said, walking in nature. We're talking about letting the sun warm our body. We're talking about going for a swim in the lake. All of this is being a witch. All of this is being a shaman. We're talking about somebody painting a painting. We're talking about somebody cooking a beautiful meal. This is all being a witch and a shaman. It's creating. We are a creation, therefore we are creators. This is what the Wiccan practice and shamanism is about. And so every human being has access to that. You don't need to be special. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on things. So yeah, that's one of my biggest things to share today. But bringing it to the holiday, the spring equinox in Ostara, of course, most of you might already have a sense of this, but we'll just talk about it. You know, now is the time that we are starting to welcome in balance again, where we're working towards, you know, summer solstice, where we will have the equal balance of day and night. So we're starting to feel out, generate, manifest in the balance of masculine and feminine. You know, the yin and yang is coming in, the balance of the light and dark. We're working with the renewal. So we're starting to see the plants bud, right? It's the rebirth, the regrowth. Fertility, of course, is a big energy and theme of Ostara, because, I mean, everything is birthing and growing. So rebirth, it's the perfect time. That's kind of where, you know, the Astara name change came in for me. This is a period of rebirth for me. So it's perfect timing to do this. Some symbols, you know, the egg is a symbol of the fertility and rebirth, you know, daffodils, sunflowers, as Wendy is wearing right now, even the dandelion, because they start sprouting up right now in spring. It's the time of the maiden, right? The teenager in the triple goddess, the mother, maiden, and the crone. So it's the maiden. It's, you know, that 20-year-old, like you think you're on top of the world, anything's possible in life. You know, boys, music, makeup, you know, just that kind of embodiment of that vibe is happening, and you feel it. You go walk down the street, you see the cherry blossoms starting to grow, and it just gives you that effervescent, like, zest for life. It's like, breathe it all in, breathe in this energy. What else? a couple of the goddesses and gods. We have Osiris is a god of Ostara, Freya, Sarasvati. But really, you know, I just say any god or goddess can be particular to any time if you resonate with them. Again, there's no rules, right? So this is a bit about Ostara. I don't know, Wendy, do you have anything that you want to add about spring equinox Ostara?
No, not really. You know, actually, we kind of looked up a few things, but no, I really wanted to hear your perspective on it because I've shared it mine a few times, and I was really excited to hear what you had to say.
Well, I mean, also building our altar right now, if we're building an altar, and I recommend, this is what I've started doing, and I really love this. I recommend this for anybody. And your altar can be, can we see rays right here?
Well, I was gonna say, if you guys can see mine too, like we've got crystals and oh, my beeswax candle. Oh, Dave, I forgot to light it. I was gonna tell you guys too about the beeswax candles, just because that's what our preference is beeswax candles, and the smell of the honey and close to earth. And so, yeah, we've got the cards, like all the oracle cards and crystals and candles and sage and sweetgrass and, you know, and all of that, and gifts from all of you from all over the world. And so, yes, it's, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because, and I have fresh flowers that were just brought to me a few minutes ago by a friend of AJ's here, Dave's grandson. So I got fresh flowers to share with everybody as well. So
Beautiful. Well, what I was going to say is that not everybody is lucky enough to have a big shelf like you.
Exactly.
But
even a little spot.
You can do just a tiny little spot, or create, which Ray has. She bought a really nice wooden tray. And what I like to do is for each portal, so right now we're starting March 21st, and the portal is between now and summer solstice, is I create my altar. And as I dismantle the old one and I build the new one, I talk to spirit, and it's like, what do you want me to bring in right now? Like, what energy, oh my God, look at Melissa's cat. What energy do I need to infuse into this? What colors, what crystals, anything. And I build an altar, and then that creates the intention for that portal of healing, which right now, again, we're talking about birthing and rebirth that we want to bring in. Every day you light a candle and you let that candle burn. If it burns out, light another one until the end of the day. So this is a very Wiccan thing to do, is we have a candle burning in our space all day long, bringing in that element of fire, right? You can have a bowl of water there, because if you want to be in balance, you want all the elements there. So you bring a bowl of water. It could be a tiny little bowl. It could be a thimble, but just water. Have at least one feather bringing in air, and at least one crystal or something from nature, a piece of wood, a rock. Mm-hmm. I mean, stones hold just as much healing energy as a crystal does. So, you know, nature doesn't have hierarchy and specialness, right? So just building your altar in this way can be a little spot by your bedside table, can be a little spot, you know, on your kitchen counter. It doesn't even have to be as big as this, but just, it really helps you connect and understand, like, how we can weave this stuff into our life every single day. It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be glamorous. Okay. So building the altars right now, you would put in colors of yellow, purples, pinks. You might have imagery of chicks or bunny rabbits. You'll have some daffodil, you know, you'll have the sunflower, you'll have things like dandelion. Here's our little droopy dandelion. We found one. Any pastel colors. Just what else? Eggs. You'd have some eggs. Mm-hmm. You could even get some chocolate mini eggs and snack on some. The fairies will love that too if you're putting that stuff out. So, you know, you can make it fun. If you have kids, you can get your kids involved. I think this is an amazing way for kids to start learning about earth-based teachings and worship. So if you are working with any plants, so after today, I hope that people resonate with working with plants in this way. You could put your dandelion tea that you haven't made yet on your altar. All the energies of spirit are infusing, and then each day you take a little bit out and you sit in ceremony, or you just drink the tea, because you're just bringing the medicine into the body. Okay. Again, it doesn't always have to be this big glamorous ceremony. We don't always have time. We also get in our own way sometimes and don't know what we're doing. Literally the intention, I'm making this tea to give back to myself and connect with the plant. Great, make the tea, drink it. There you go. You just performed a ritual. You know, so it's really important for people to make this accessible and understand this can be everyday life and living, and then we can make time for it to be a special event. But it's always special because we're always connecting. You know, that's special.
I love that, because that, I swear to God, you guys, that is how Dave and I live. That is what, just like you said, it can be just a little spot, like you said, next to your dresser, where I lived before. That's all I had was my dresser, my bedroom dresser. So that was my altar. And like you said, I was always guided to bring, whether it was a seashell, whether it was a stone, a twig, a feather that I found. Absolutely. I mean, so, and we take this stuff for granted, but it really is that simple. Like you said, the intention is, we seem to think that it's like this, it has to be this big ritualistic ceremony, or I'm not doing it right, or why bother? It's not going to make a difference. It does. All you have to do, even if all you have time to do is walk outside and say hello to the tree you just walked by. Don't ignore it. Say hello.
I'm getting chills.
You will be surprised at the epiphanies you'll have on the drive to work. Just because you said hi to the tree. It is that simple. It is that simple. But we are humans that like to complicate everything. Everything. And we think that this little stuff doesn't matter. It does. And this is why we wanted to do this today, because she and I, maybe we take it for granted. Maybe, like you said, it's all the same thing. Shamanism is connecting with all of the elements and elementals, and then how do I then receive an epiphany that's going to help me expand or help humanity grow, simply because for that moment I was present. And it's that simple. And that is why we came together today. So thank you for saying that too. This is what I'm saying. All of this stuff, these perspectives that we present, we often think everybody knows them. So
no, exactly. And that everybody has somebody to have the back and forth with, and many people don't. And the other thing that I'm thinking of, Wendy, that's coming to me when you're saying that, is when we create this conscious awareness of connecting to the elements, to the animal kingdom, to the plant kingdom all around us. Do you know what the interesting thing is that happens? Then we understand, now we can connect with every human in that way. And now that species and genus is not that separation that the world wants us to have. Now that connection is with everything, because we are all connected. So it's this slow.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you said that too. And Arturo, Artur will appreciate this too, because for all you Bashar fans out there, channeled by Daryl Anka, bashar.org. He said this as first contact specialists. It's not just the humans or the beings that they interact with. When they have first contact and open contact with the planet, it's with every species on the planet. Yes. Every species, every one of them, the plants, the bugs, everything. Because if everything's not involved, it's not everything, and it's not open contact. Period. So see how this is all intertwined?
Yeah. Thank you so much for saying that, guys. Thank you so much for having me here. It is, everything you guys saying is so on point. It is so, the timing is so perfect, truly. And the gates to Atlantis are truly open now. And so there are going to be many people coming now with questions, and they're going to be asking, like, what's happening? What's happening to me? You know, because it's really happening to everybody. And, and people becoming aware of the connections, but many people are not really aware of what is happening to them. And it is just that these barriers just became thinner and thinner. And, especially on a day like the Equinox, those days, like the equinox, because it's like 3 days at least, right? So, and you know, this connection to the elementals and to the guardians and the guides, and at the same time, there is also access to all the knowledge, that knowledge of the ages that is present here for us in the now, and it is encouraging everyone to step into their own power and to recognize who they are deep within, their identity, their true identity, and it's more than one, because we are many and we are one truly. And that might be confusing because many people, and you know, we many of us, most of us were there, see things in a very linear way, but we are truly coming together as a family, and we are interacting with ourselves in many ways. And so to make sense out of that, you know, the separation and what that all entangles, and how it is all now coming to pass, and how we are coming back together to unity consciousness, you know, I think it's perfect timing that we're coming together now and that we talk about these things, and that people become aware of it is really just us stepping into our own power. Not that we have never been, like you said, we never have not been psychic, right? It's just that we are recognizing that that is actually our natural birthright. And as our body, spirit body is expanding, it's just starting to tap into what is already awaiting for us, our natural gifts that are awaiting for us already at those levels, that we are just becoming more and more aware of as our consciousness is shifting more towards that. And so it's really great that we are becoming aware of how we are co-creating new joint agreements and the reality that we prefer for ourselves in our lives. And by doing that, and by just shining and be who we are encouraging others to do so. And with everybody does what they like to do and love to do, then I think we are living already in paradise-like conditions, because nobody is doing what they need to do or have to do, but just being themselves and doing what they love to do and contributing in ways that are most natural to them. So thank you for being here, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that very much. Thank you very much. It's a beautiful reflection to all of us.
So I'll bring it to plants now then, and a little bit more about the understanding of plants as we prepare to do our tea journey. Well, the reason why Wendy and I, came to this too was I started talking a little bit about herbalism and the wise women tradition of these teachings, the folkloric teachings to herbalism. And I was explaining to her that we can journey with plants in the same way that people journey with ayahuasca, that they journey with San Pedro, that they journey with psychedelics. And, you know, the world still has a little bit of ways to go in this creation of hierarchy with plants, that, you know, ayahuasca is in a higher place than the dandelion, but Mother Earth, she doesn't have a hierarchy. That's not how this works. It's been mankind that has created this hierarchy. So even within the cultures where those plants originate from, they didn't have a hierarchy. They just knew how to work with the plant because their ancestors and, you know, they and their ancestors for thousands of years had understood and listened to Mother Earth whisper to them about what they can do with those plants. And then for commerce, we came along and said, oh, let's make money off of this. It's more special. No, we got to stop doing that. Again, bringing it back to what Wendy said, everything, and I don't want to pronounce his name wrong. Arturo said, like, everything is one. It is all the same and created the same. So I want to help people understand and kind of plant the seeds and open up to the understanding that we can journey and work with the ancestors and the spirit and the allies in the plant at all times, and for any plant that there is, okay? Any plant. And it's especially good, you don't have to, but it's advisable to work with the plants that are indigenous to where you come from. So when you go on your walks, Wendy, and you see that flower and you look it up on your app, because they have these great apps now where you can identify by taking a photo and it can tell you exactly what the plant is, and you can Google what the healing properties, emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical, and energetic, it heals on all levels of our being, what the properties are, and you can brew it up and work with it. So this is something that I want more people to understand, because we should all be able to walk into our backyard or walk in nature and heal ourselves through plants. And we don't need to pay somebody to do it. We don't need to go to somebody else. We don't need to go to school and pay thousands of dollars. We just need to start. It's Mother Earth is waiting for us to open our eyes and our ears and start. So today we're going to work with dandelion.
Oh, and I have a question since I met about the dandelion from Beverly. She's asking, this is a really good question for all of us. Now, today, I had the box. Oh, here it is right here. Today, I'm just using tea bags. So,
yes, great brand.
Tell us, what is the best way to prepare it? Do you pick it out of the ground and boil it? What do you do? I mean, we know that we can use all the parts. We know that they're all healing, but what do we do? Is it safe to use one that we pull out of our yard? I would say our yard, first of all, you're not going to find one because of the herbicides that they use. Right. Second of all, so talk about that just a little, about what do you do with the plant? Which way is the better way to do it?
Yes, of course. There is no better way. So
that's it, dry or fresh. Do we use it?
Right. It's strictly preference. You are going to be preparing it a little bit differently depending on what you're doing. So there's a couple of things. So number one, please, if you can find it in nature, even in your yard, if you don't use pesticides and you can find it in nature, please do, because there is a very intricate system of roots we know this about trees. We talk more about the tree nation root system, but it literally exists for all plants. And the thing is all those roots for thousands of years, when it's wildcrafted, okay, growing naturally in the wild, have been reaching down into Mother Earth and communicating with her matrix system of everything that she wants, these plants, all the healing, all the information. So if somebody's like, how do I channel? Start working with plants, because it'll open up your channels in you, right? So if you can find it in nature, please do. Only if you can trust, and you can ask. All you have to do is silently ask Earth Mother, like, is this safe for me? You'll hear the answer. You just need to trust yourself. So if we want to use it fresh, I'm trying to think about, have we ever made a tea with fresh? We have, right?
Mm-hmm. But root teas need to be decocted.
Right. So it depends if you're going to use the leaf, the flower, or the root. If you're using the root, you need to boil it in...
Simmer for like 10 minutes.
I usually say 20 to 30.
Okay.
But okay, 20 to 30 minutes because the root is a tougher material, right? And it takes more to get the medicine out. So when it's fresh, you kind of would want to lacerate it a bit so you can get the juices coming out. You could use a blender, or you could just like roughly chop. You know, it doesn't need to be pretty. Add your hot water. Generally, I ask every time, you know, I just ask the divine, how long do you want this steeping for? But I would say a good minimum is 30 minutes. Okay, so you need to prep this a little bit in advance. Same with dried. If you're using dried, you're going to pour boiling water on it and let it sit, or you can even pour cold water and do an overnight cold infusion. Some people like to do that.
Ooh, lovely.
Okay. And there's no better or worse than, it's just what resonates with you. You could even use tea bags like we're going to do today. If you're going to use a tea bag, make sure it's organic. Make sure that you put more than one bag in, and make sure that you steep it longer than what you normally would, a couple of minutes. You're going to want to do like 30 minutes to an hour, again, because you want to get everything out of it. Another thing, when you're preparing a tea, you could also hold the tea in your hands and do a prayer of intention, what healing you want out of this. You know, that's always a beautiful thing to do as well. Oh, great. She's doing light code. Amazing. So what was I was going to talk about the plant medicine doing this. Yeah, I think that pretty much answers that. So for anybody preparing right now, you just want to get your teas ready and grab your blessing herbs. If you have any, grab your feather, anything that you'll want to prepare. And so just take yourself a couple minutes, like get a comfy cushion, get your blankets, like turn the lights down, light a candle, get your crystals, anything that you want. Can you take some tea? Anything that you want to be comfortable for your meditation.
Maybe a journal.
Yeah, grab your journal. That's a good one. If you don't have one handy already, grab your journal. And for anybody who doesn't have any tea today, but wants to join in the meditation, Dave has all these images of dandelion that we will put on the screen during. So you can connect with a plant just by thinking of it in your mind. You can do a meditation with the plant ancestor in the exact same way that we're doing without drinking, okay? All of the language I'm going to use is going to be regarding drinking the tea, but if you don't have the tea to drink, you could have picked some dandelion from outside and you could sit with it and hold it in your hand and do a meditation, or you could sit in nature in the dandelions or lay in the dandelions and do the meditation. The point is, we don't have to have the physical in order to connect with the spirit of it, okay? Remember, we're in the 5D now. We don't need physical to connect. We never did, but now it's easier for us to access because all the vibrations, the veils are thinner. We are ascending quicker and quicker. So we just need to even envision it in our mind's eye and we can meditate with the plant. Wendy, do you guys need to do anything else preparation-wise before I start here? Are you going to be?
No, I don't think so. I just, what I did want to ask you though too was there anything else you wanted to share about the idea of, I guess really what I wanted to just add here is that it also part of this whole celebration is it really extends out into all the things that we're talking about. Like, for example, what reminded me of it is the bunny, because the rabbit card that we pulled that was for spring. Yes. And I never actually even shared that card, but so we've got, these other religious holidays coming up. You've got Easter, which is really Ostara and Astara and that whole idea. We've got Passover coming. Dave is Jewish. So all of these things are a part of all of this. And really it's just a representation of all the same thing. It's a different expression of all of our perspectives, of expressions of our love and our gratitude for all that is. And so it really is a combination of all of these things. And so I wanted to include all of that today, that regardless of what your personal beliefs are, much as you said earlier, Ostara, about every culture, no matter what, some uses plants in symbolism and in religious ceremony or holy ceremony. So whether it's wheat, whether it's the lily, right? All of those things that we associate with these things. And so I wanted to thank you for bringing that up as well. And that it reminded me of all of that this is really not just today, not just the equinox. This is about the beginning of a new beginning. And this is about we're new every now, and how can we make better choices, even just in the little things, and embracing all of these things as part of, like you said, every day is a ritual, just holding your cup and loving what you're drinking, and the prayers that Dave does every night in Hebrew at the dinner table, and how we bless the water, bless the wine, bless the tea, bless the trees, bless the food, bless the animals, all that were created in our energetic sustenance. And so I wanted to extend this out to all of you to, bring all of this into all of that for the next, couple of weeks. And really today, I want to remind everybody, I'm being reminded, I saw 333 on the clock while we were having this beautiful hangout. And that is another reason today equals 11. If you've been watching my channel for a little while, you guys know how I love numbers, numerology, the connections to the symbols of all that is. The day that Astara and I met was on 3/12, which was also a 3/3 day. And so it also equaled 11 that day. Today is also a 3/3 day, and it equals 11. So, but with the 21, it's a 3/3 day. I have met so many Christines and Christinas in the last couple of weeks and months. So hi, Christine, I met another one last night. And it really is a reflection, you guys, of all of us, of bringing in the Christ consciousness, that the Christos consciousness. It's not about a man, it's not about a person. It's about the divine infinite wisdom that all we are connected to. And so I'm just being guided by whomever wants to speak right now, that wanted to remind me of all of that, you know, all of this is all part of that, all of it. And every ceremony over the next couple of weeks is going to involve some type of plant or flower. So thank you for bringing that up.
Wendy, I love it. I love listening to you. It's so beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so everybody is ready. And I'm just going to talk you through this again. Don't worry if you don't have a tea, but you can take everything that you learned today or reach out to Wendy or I, and we can assist you to do this going forward. Okay. So take a few moments to bless yourself with your sacred smoke, if you have it. So just blessing your tea that you have in front of you. I don't know if that worked. I didn't know what I was doing. Blessing your cushions. It's just, you know, we're honoring what we are about to do, and we're just setting that intention that this is your sacred space right now. And you can use anything. Actually, that's another thing about working with plants, is you can use anything as a blessing herb that you resonate with. You know, commonly people will use Palo Santo sweetgrass or white buffalo sage, but like honestly, if you had a piece of balsam fir that you found outside.
And in fact, I've got a cedar tree outside too that you guys can just take a piece of cedar off and let it dry. I've got sweetgrass, white cedar, the beeswax candle burning. I do have incense, but I'm not burning it right now. And I also have Palo Santo. So everything you said is right here. So all of these energies, you guys, if you don't have it with you, it's okay. That's what that's what we're trying to show of you guys. Just connect with all of this. It's as long as it exists in your mind, that's all that matters. So
exactly. I love it. Okay. So everybody just close your eyes when you're ready. And just get you to take some deep cleansing, full belly breaths. So you're going to breathe in to the diaphragm, pushing it out. And then with your exhale through the mouth, if you feel called to, you can even make the sound or any other sound that comes to you. Breathing in through the nose, filling up the belly. And then exhaling a deep exhale, pulling the diaphragm back towards the spine. You want to feel a sense of filling yourself up with as much new cleansing oxygen as possible. And with the release, you're letting go of as much stagnant air as possible. And just pay attention to what is surrounding you in the room with your eyes closed. Feeling the cushion underneath you or behind your back. Allowing any sounds around you to come in. And noticing anything that you're feeling in your body in this moment. Take a minute to make any adjustments to get yourself feeling as comfortable as you can. Taking a few more deep cleansing breaths, inhaling fully and exhaling deeply through the mouth. Feeling any sensations in the body and grounding them out to the floor with your exhales. Allowing everything to melt off your body and your nervous system that is ready to be gone in this moment. Deep inhale. And then relaxing, releasing in the exhale. Take a moment to feel into yourself. Anything you've been dealing with in your body or struggling with emotionally, just sense what is present with you in this moment. Invite your whole being to be present with you in this moment, without needing to fix anything, just allowing your whole being and body to be. I want you to call in healing energy and the divine as you breathe. I want you to call in Earth Mother Tara. Feel the energies of the natural world that are outside your room and connect. It might be trees, birds, the sky. It's raining over here, so maybe it's the rain. And I just want you to send love and blessings out to all that is around you. The plants, the animals, any of the guides that are here working with you. Dandelion, or another tea if you're drinking. Call in a circle of white light to surround you and protect you completely. Bringing in the protection and healing energy. Imagine yourself completely safe and protected in your space. You know that you're able to really open up to receiving now because you're protected. When you're ready, I want you to take your cup of tea, hold it in your hands, and take a couple deep breaths, smelling it, breathing in the scent and aroma, creating the connection. Dropping your awareness into the vessel in your hands. You may even be called to hold it to your heart, creating the heart connection between you and the medicine. Calling the energy and spirit of the essence of this plant to you. Take some deep breaths with it. If you are holding it to your heart, send some loving energy to the tea. Allow any of the scent to register in your memory or your dreaming mind. And then when you're ready, I want you to go ahead and sip your tea. Take a moment to really taste and feel the tea in your mouth. And then continue to breathe deeply. Take some time sipping and inviting the spirit of Dandelion, this elder and plant ally, to join you, calling on its medicine as you drink. You may want to visualize the plant or take a look at the screen to look at the dandelion. Or if you have any fresh dandelions, you could even hold them in your hands now. You may even visualize yourself surrounded by the plant in nature, or have it sitting in front of you. Just let the spirit of the plant show you. From your heart, I want you to greet Dandelion with love, reverence, and gratitude. Ask it to join you in this sacred space. And I really want you to let yourself go with this, but however you may start to see things, but you may want to imagine touching the plant with your hands, having the petals fall on your face. You may see yourself shrinking in size and going on top of the dandelion. Whatever spirit starts to show you, I just want you to allow that to happen. All the while continuing to send the loving energy to Dandelion. Let the plant show itself to you. It might just look like light or a color, or you may not even see, you might just feel or smell or hear. Maybe the form is not clear, but just continue to invite in and send the plant spirit the energy to join you. You may feel called to offer the plant love from your heart, or even some sort of offering. Allow the energy of dandelion to flow through your body as you drink, continuing to offer the gratitude and love. As you feel the plant present and offering you healing touch in this moment. Allow the plant to feel into your body. Allow its energy to flow to any of the parts that need it. Asking the plant to move anywhere in your body that needs the support. Breathing deeply. Letting your mind float on your breath. Following any sensations into your body. Welcoming all of its love and support as you breathe. Invite all of your tissues and cells to take this plant in to receive the healing energy. Welcome in any guidance or messages the plant has for you. Continuing to drink, I'm going to let you explore for a couple of minutes here. Any messages, any information, you can ask the plant. If you have specific things that you want guidance on, you can now ask the plant for that information. Just remembering to continue to breathe deeply and sip your tea while you do this. Invite your whole being to receive. If your mind wanders, let your breath bring you back into your body, into presence. Allow the visuals to come through. Ask the plant if it has anything it wants to show you. Just stay with your breath and the sensations in your body. Asking the plant spirit what it would like you to know and receive in this moment. Relaxing even deeper as you breathe. Letting go as you allow this plant's energy to fully support you. Allow your body to move in any way that feels good in this moment. Stretch, roll your shoulders, roll your neck, continuing to breathe deeply. Feeling the energy of the plant flow and spread throughout the body and settling where it's most needed. When you feel ready, you can start to open your eyes, offering the plant gratitude you have in your heart for what you have just received, any guidance that came through, the medicine that it's offering you. Slowly start to move your body a little bit more around a bit, coming back into your body, coming back into the room. Take some time to make some notes about your experience. You may even want to offer up some more blessing smoke, thanking any loving spirits that have joined you today, sending your gratitude and love back. Feeling the energy in your body right now that you're carrying from the plant. Set some intentions for the rest of the day of what you would like to continue to receive and offer to yourself. Imagine spending the rest of this day with the loving intention towards yourself and others. Staying present with this plant and anything that has been offered to you. Any guidance, energy that feels healing. Set the intention to carry this for the rest of the day. Honoring what you've received. Inviting the spirit of the plant to stay. Write about this in your journal. Anything that, any messages, anything you felt, anything that was surprising or interesting to you with the plant. Maybe even the personality. A lot of the times when people connect with the plant for the first time, they start to get a sense of the personality of the plant. You might even have memories from childhood because most of us, we've played with dandelions. Us as kids, we always played with dandelions. We made potions with them, pretended to be witches. when we were little, we popped them off, we'd rub them on each other. You might have received visuals or memories of that from childhood. Just write anything that comes to you, words. You might have heard a song. Sometimes I hear songs when I do a journey with the plants. You know, any way that you were touched. As you write, you're going to let it sink in deeper into your consciousness and your memory. And I do recommend doing this meditation a few more days in a row to connect again with the plant, because you'll start to get a deeper relationship. I mean, in some herbal practices, we recommend that now that you've made this connection, you never stop working with the medicine of the plant, because how this works, and anybody here who is intuitive, psychic channel will say, the more you do the work, the more it unravels for you. So it's the same when you start your relationships with plants. The idea is not going to be that you need to go out and do a plant meditation with every single plant and herb that you love and try to remember all this information. It's really to build a small repertoire with it. So you've started with dandelion, and then now pick 3 more or 4 more plants that you resonate with. A lot of people resonate with rose or lavender. Maybe you have a tree in your yard that you love. You can connect with that plant and just continue working with the same plants until off the top of your head, you can talk about the healing of each one, then start bringing new ones in. But we don't want to, it's not to know it all. You know, when I first started working with crystals, I couldn't name all the crystals. It can be overwhelming. So you could just work with dandelion for the next 10 years and never bring another plant in, and that would be amazing. You know, so this is how we want to start getting involved with plant medicine and plant healing. And I'll just tell you a little bit of other, so dandelion is in season. That's another reason why, you know, I think Wendy and Dave resonated with it. It was perfect. But a couple other herbs that are in season right now, we don't have to be working with the in-season ones, but it is a good idea just because it works with our body and our biorhythms and what's happening. So nettles is another one. It's a favorite of mine and Ray's. We love nettles. It's like drinking the elixir of life.
So good.
Like, I cannot explain to you how amazing nettles are if you've never tried the tea. Oat straw is another good one. Also love oat straw.
Oh.
It also feels like
It's
an
like
elixir of
grassy
life.
and-
It's
oh.
yeah, it's so beautiful. So of course, dandelion. Chickweed is another one. Red raspberry leaf is another one that's really good for spring. Cleavers, burdock, also violet, and miner's lettuce, but I have no idea what that is. So that's miner's lettuce. So those are the medicinal nourishing herbs of the season. The herbal bitters, so most people have heard of bitters. Dandelion is a bitter, mugwort, and blue vervain. Okay, so those are bitters of spring. And then digestive system tonics, lemon balm, turmeric, marshmallow, and then the carminative herbs, the ones that help if you have a gassy stomach or a digestion, mint, fennel, thyme, oregano, and ginger. So again, will be of spring. And then my favorite ones are the nervines, because they work with our nervous system and our parasympathetic nervous system. And if you're stressed out and you take some, it's a real natural high, which you don't need to feel guilty about that. So these are my favorites. And we have lavender, chamomile, lemon balm again, motherwort, tulsi, skullcap, which I love skullcap, and passion vine. So it doesn't have to be in the tea form. You could be working with the plant in tincture. You could be working with it in an essential oil. You could be working with it by having the fresh plants. You could be working with it by talking to it out in nature, doing a visualization, anyway, putting up, you know, like Dave has created this beautiful slideshow. You could make that on your computer, and you're working with the medicine in any way that is accessible and possible for you. Okay. I will share with Wendy some places where you can order ethical, organic herbs in the United States that might be more closer to your area. I'm going to share that with her, and then she can share it on her page, on her Facebook, on her YouTube as well. And yeah, I just encourage people to just start. I don't know, Wendy, if you want to have people share a little bit of their experience. I'll let you kind of.
Yes, absolutely. That was actually the very next thing that Dave said too, is if there's anybody who wants to just go ahead and raise your hand or unmute. Please do feel free to share anything that you'd like to at this time. That would be awesome.
Awesome. Ray, why don't you start?
Sure. Well, right away, because the thing is the plant already connects with you before you even have the tea in the ceremony. So right away, I dropped into just yellow, lots of yellow, and like a tickling, like it was like a wall of a shag rug, but it was the petals of the dandelion just tickling me, and just this really playful, light energy, and then drop down further to like the shrink to a microscopic size to the base of the flower where the petals come. And I don't even know if this is real, but there was like these dips of like almost like a liquid, like a honey or water, and there was all the little bugs, you know, when you pick a dandelion and there's those little bugs. So they were just these wonderful, very calm, big, cute bugs. That's how I pictured them, and or how they came through, just moving around and then showing me to how to, you know, take nourishment from even the smallest part of the plant. The next dandelion took me down the stem to like the curve of where the stem meets the leaf, and kind of furled me in the leaf and just comforted me. So there's this overwhelming sense of playfulness and nurturing comfort. And then when Astara said, you know, place in the body, right away I got liver, which obviously it's a detoxifier, but also, you know, I happen to have a couple of glasses of wine last night. So perfect timing to drink the dandelion tea, help support that liver function. And I also felt it in this area of my head. So I don't know what that is, orbital, whatever. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. But I felt like it was just a release, you know, like maybe a release of the mental and like kind of the old story construct that the world and our spiritual family is shedding. And yeah, basically just a lot of just an overwhelming sense of laugh and play, and which is also in time with spring, you know, that's the time to play and come out of your hidey hole. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. I just want to, this is one important teaching that I want to give that is reminded me of through what Ray is saying. With the folkloric tradition of plant medicine, I do recommend, like, yes, you can buy books and you can go online and Google all the information about what this does. I don't recommend doing that. I recommend what she just is sharing is what it's doing in her body, because what it does in Ray's body is not going to be the same as in Wendy's or mine. Or today it's different, tomorrow it's different. So when you learn to work with the plants in this way, you learn to get whatever healing, spiritual, energetic, mental, emotional, physical, that we need for us in that moment.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that you pointed that out too, because that is so absolutely true. Each of us are going to meld with it a different way. And absolutely. I do want to share a little bit of what I was feeling, but I really want to give anybody else who wants to say something at all, doesn't have sharing of anything of any kind. I wanted to offer, you know, anybody else to, you know, raise their hand or unmute if they wanted to, and just to say something if they like to. And if you don't, that's okay too.
Yeah, I would like to share, guys. So I was focusing on the dandelion, and I like had these nice memories of my childhood when I was outside in the summer or in the spring, and it was like sunny day, and I was running around, and I was playing with them, and I was like see that there's like milk coming out and stuff, and and then you know, and I was focusing on the parts of my body that were dense, and I gotta say, when I got on a meeting, because the last few days were so, like the last 2-3 weeks were very, very energetic, right? Like lost, like a lot going on, and yesterday was like maybe like the apex of that, and then I felt a little like burnt out. I had like, you know, like headaches a little bit on the right side, and pain in the neck, and so this all like is subsiding now really greatly. I mean, like through all of this, really like all of this dance energy, like it, like I can really move my neck again. For me, it's really like all of my stress, everything, somehow I like focus it somehow there. But this was really super, super helpful. And then, you know, these colors, the yellow was so beautiful, and then the um like the yellow and the green together, you know, and then I was then focusing because of the, you know, how it's all like flowing now nicely, my spine, how it's just relieved now. Then I was thinking about the trees, and then I was like looking out in the field, and then I just like in my fantasy, you know, in my mind's eye, I saw like a dragon fly between the trees and like crawl around the tree from tree to tree, and it was just beautiful.
Wow, beautiful.
Thank
Wow, I love this. This is one of the things I love about people sharing, is what we'll find is there are similarities. That's the beautiful thing. You both got this playfulness. So now we know that is an energy that the dandelion brings. And now we can have this sense of connection between everybody being like, wow, we had a similar energy and message from the spirit of the plant. I love this. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm excited too. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Well, you guys can raise your hand anytime. So I also had a lot of synchronicities reminding me of the when we met, the day we met, and we were pulling these cards and talking about this stuff. So all kinds of really fun synchronicities with that. Lots of the same energy you guys did. And I was even sort of whispering to Dave here and there, just like you said, playing, because when we were kids, they didn't kill the dandelions. Like they were everywhere. They were everywhere when I was a child. So it was to me, it represents all of those things, robins and worms pulling out of the ground, and the bees, and how I lived in an apartment building, and I had to walk a little ways to go to the pool, and I inevitably was always getting stung by bees in my feet because of walking through, you know, the clover and the violets and the dandelions, you know. But it was so, and then it reminded me of, like Ray said, where it was that petal soft, like, and the way you walk everybody through it, literally you can feel it and feel the healing and feel, you know. And even me, like you said, I could feel the root system, and then I could feel the physical things that have been bothering me the last few days just completely dissolve. It's like, if you allow it and believe it, you know it works, because this is why they are here with us and for us. And we were even talking the other day about how we haven't even begun to combine certain plants to make magical things that we don't even know exist yet. And as all of us begin to connect with plant medicine, we're going to be guided. Oh my God, today I had this idea that I combine these two plants, and guess what? You're the next person who invented this amazing thing, because it's, you know. So I loved that you already, as we talked about the other day, listed all the other plants right now. I was reminded of that, well, the playfulness. I wanted to touch back on that too a little bit. That, of course, it reminded me when I was a kid. I even was reminded, I said to Dave too, about how when Ranger and we would lay in the grass, and he would stretch out his legs and like do army crawl, you know? And we would army crawl together across the grass and across the dandelions. And you guys, this was only, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, not that long ago. You know, I was doing this as an adult, and my neighbors I didn't care. He and I had the best time. You know what I mean? So that playfulness, that yellow, I will say to you, I want to remind you too, that I was wearing yellow the day we met.
You were.
And today I'm wearing yellow, 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 and all kinds of yellow. And even this morning, I was inspired to, it was very interesting. All of this beautiful yellow energy came in. Now, I was very busy today, had a lot of, and I'm telling you, Artur, I'm still buzzing from last night. So I'm still floating on cloud nine when I wake up this morning from hangout we did last night with Artur. So
Marduk came to me right now. Marduk is yellow. Connected to that, and also connected to one of the 13. And now I understand, because I'm looking for the identities in a sense. It's always in the
see?
back of my mind, but the right away that came to me, Marduk, yellow, and then it's also one of the 13, and I'm gonna know it has something to do. But
Well, see this, well, then now you have a thread to follow that we, so this yellow energy, and then today I'm inspired, and all of a sudden I could feel the light languages coming through, and it was all, this whole message came through about literally shining your yellow light, like sharing, not just, but to share your light, to literally stop being afraid to be yellow, and somebody yesterday said, I just remember this too, in a Facebook post, they said, has anybody noticed that now Dave and I've talked about this, has anybody noticed that the sun used to be really yellow and then it was really white for a while, and then they said, today I noticed it was really yellow again. So somebody mentioned that yesterday. So I'm in this yellow energy, and yes, I had to find something that looked like, sunflower, dandelions. And so, so I was immersed in this yellow energy, and all of a sudden, all of this light language came through about just sharing your light. And it was just, it was so spontaneous. Like I was like, just getting things ready for today and setting up all the technology and everything. And it just came out of nowhere.
there's a message. Okay. That's all you need to do. Shine your light like the sun and be on your way. Ha atu. That's all.
Ha atu ni avako yeva samodova e kania to vakati to vakashuno se si abahani kuli avako te vehela kasini suzemaniono vakila kotavishino sofi hama kashayato. Mihaya satavihi ala kotavisha my kiava sopalia no marco porus so passionate avargosete sevashona siviki arokusa. I mean, if I could give you a literal translation, I don't even think I need to, but that is what it is. It's like, guys, stop.
I'm gonna cry.
Stop pretending you're not beautiful and bright and yellow and you know what I mean? It's like, stop it. It's this. And here's the card. Now I put this on the post, you guys. I took a bunch of photos of the cards. This is the card that came out that day in this deck. This is the magical herb deck, the dandelion card. Oh, where's my camera? So there's the dandelion card, detoxification, number 16. And you'll see, look, there's even what looks to be like an intestine on there, you guys. See in the background?
Mm-hmm.
So feeling all of this healing energy while I'm listening to you talk, feeling this yellow energy, the playfulness, but also the purification, the detoxification. And the bottom is really hard to read, but you can see the bottom says dandelion. Now the book, Detox, Dandelion, and it has the plant name too. Oracle meaning, there is a great power and vitality to be found in letting go. And this is what they just said to me now, letting go, let go of all the stuff that keeps you from being yellow, keeps you from being bright, that keeps you from shining, stop being small, stop being dim. Your daily routine or something that you keep doing the same way needs to change. A far better future is promised if you will let go, just let go and trust in the power of walking away. Room needs to be made for what you want to come into your life. New ideas, healing, growth. Sorry, I lost my spot. Hang on. Growth are just around the corner, but you need to release, cleanse, and be ready to accept. Forgive and forget. It's time to move on. And then it does say, there's the description that it is native to Asia, Europe, and North America, but that's not really true because Dave just, well, you looked it up and they said it was brought here by the English.
The Europeans.
The Europeans
came to America
for healing.
Wow.
For healing, you guys. So why is it that it didn't exist here in America before? The Europeans brought it to America, it proliferated. But all of a sudden now, we started killing it everywhere.
Yeah.
Why? Because somebody decided it was a weed. Like she said, there's no hierarchy in nature. Who decides what? Because it's invasive? Well, maybe that's because it's freaking healing.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
Yeah.
because Mother Earth.
It's supposed to be invasive.
As we are part of this network, of this network, right? The plants and the trees and everything that we interact with, they see us, they interact with us and our energetic body, and they know what we need for healing, and so they start to provide that for us, and we start to kill it with pesticides, and kill,
Yes.
therefore also the connections, because those
Oh
are
my
the
God.
little antennae that, and therefore that is a reflection of how we are going about our own spirituality, as physicality is a reflection of what's going on inside of us. We are killing our own connections on purpose, as we want to tune off and don't want to listen to the whispers inside of us. That is a choice that people make subconsciously, consciously, unconsciously. You know, there's a mix of that. But yeah, and that's this reconnection, this part of that. If we just let be what's coming and embrace it and welcome it, and then we can recognize the purpose in each and every plant, and that quality that it carries and the frequency that gives us then this channel that is related to the frequency then.
Yes, that's exactly why we wanted to do this today. And it's not that we can't bring another kind of tea. It wasn't about that. It was about literally identifying this energy, this plant, knowing and literally immersing yourself in it. I find this also very interesting. Now, you guys, this is the first time I started using this deck, so I've never read these cards before. The magical correspondences, just like you said, correspondence, communication, uses, wishes, divination, summoning spirits, luck, the fairies, magic, and psychic abilities. Isn't that very, very interesting?
Very interesting.
And the deities associated are Brigid, Helios, Belanos, Hecate, Zeus, Yamaya, and Jupiter. What's interesting about this, you guys, it's Pisces right now still, I'm pretty sure, right? It's not, Aries hasn't started yet, I don't think.
Just tomorrow, I think.
Okay, so we're just, yeah, you're right. I think it's the 23rd. So, or yeah, I think it's the 22nd. So the planet ruling Dandelion is Jupiter. That's also, I'm a Sagittarius. Jupiter also rules Sagittarius and Pisces. So that's another thing I was guided to share with you guys today. The element is air. So the other thing that when the day I met Astara, I was guided to wear yellow and light blue like the sky and white like the clouds. And I told her that day. Now there is a dandelion detox spell in here, and it says the flowers and the leaves made a tea that will help develop and increase psychic abilities and to summon spirits. You can assist the fairies in their work of looking after plants by blowing on the dandelion seed head. To do so disperses the seeds, and in helping your wish may be granted by the fairies. And I think we all kind of did this as kids, right? We would blow the dandelion, send our wishes out. The spell can be done each morning while you are suffering from a physical issue or wish to detox anything, including negativity. And that's another thing they wanted me to remind everybody. This is about detoxification of our thoughts.
Yeah.
So the spell, the detox, including negativity from your life. check with an herbalist to do as to the suitability for your personality, for you personally to do this daily and gather together. Now, I will say again, I agree with Astara, just use your heart and your imagination and your own guidance. If you feel guided to look something up, look it up.
Yes.
But don't feel like you have to go, my girlfriend goes out and picks things in nature and comes home and like nuts and berries and cedar branches, and she puts it all in a big pot of tea. She puts it in a big pot of water, brews it up, and drinks it. I said, aren't you ever afraid of what you're drinking or what? And I know she's not. She said, of course not. I wouldn't be guided to something that way. So the 1 teaspoon, now this isn't much, you guys, 1 teaspoon dried dandelion root, tea strainer with a ball, or we just use a little, strainer thing. But I like using the tea balls too, because it has a different effect and there's a ritualism to it. A teacup, a cup of boiling water, and 1 fresh dandelion seed head if possible. Put the dried dandelion root in a strainer or tea ball, place it in a teacup, and pour the boiling water over it. You may wish to sweeten it with a little honey. Go outside to a peaceful spot, and while holding the dandelion seed head over the teacup, say, away and be gone with the seeds on the breeze. The things I don't need, leave my body with ease. If you cannot find a fresh dandelion seed head, then imagine one. Now, I swear to you guys, we did not read this page. Blow the seed head out into the air and drink your tea. Visualize it as a white, brilliant energy, collecting anything you do not want in your body and taking it away. Okay, that was awesome.
So anyone that has watched Wendy for a while knows she talks about the idea of permission slips, which is a Sasani and Bashar gift.
Yes, it is.
The idea behind everything being permission slips. And the idea that I have is that all the herbs and flowers and all these other things and oracle cards about herbs and flowers are what I would consider to be collective permission slips that we've all agreed to on a higher level. And what that means is if they resonate with you, they will work for you, even if you haven't thought of them before, because you've already agreed that dandelions are a certain permission slip. And energetically, you've already are accepting of that permission slip to do the things that you're guided to find out about. So if you look on the internet about dandelion and you find a webpage that you like and you read it and you say, this really resonates with me. Well, that's a permission slip that will work for you, that has already been loaded into your system before you woke up in the morning. And those permission slips could change moment by moment because you're new every moment. But if you're drawn to something, for instance, an oracle card deck, and it gives you information, then that's a permission slip that will work for you if it resonates. And that's why we have things such as oracle decks with flowers and herbs that have little bits of information and little ceremonies and little permission slips on doing things that would benefit you and the all. So it's just a little reminder about how these things can work for you.
Yes, thank you for saying that. Did you have something to say?
Yeah, something came up when you were reading the card, and I don't want to forget it. To do with working with plant medicine when we are taking it from nature. Okay, so one of the things that we are doing when we are creating and working in this way is working in reciprocity with the Earth Mother. Okay, so wherever you go in nature, anything that you see and want to take, specifically, we're going to talk about the plants, but it could be a rock. It could be anything. You want to ask either aloud or in your heart, is this the plant? Is this the dandelion that I can take over here? And how much? And you will hear the answer. Okay. Sometimes, or all the time, because there's no rules, we don't like the rules, you will be called to leave an offering. The offering could be a song, a prayer. It could be beaming your heart energy to it. It could be leaving, tobacco, if you like to carry tobacco as an offering, little chocolates, whatever you want as an offering. But the point is, we don't ever want to take without asking. Sometimes we forget, okay, we're human, that's fine. You can say your apologies to the universe. But just on a whole, when we're working with the plants, we want to ask, we want to get that information that yes, it's okay. And then how much can I take? Because when Ray and I have been wildcrafting before, we will come across a patch of, let's just say, yarrow. I shared with you that yarrow is one of my favorites. And we've asked, and it's like, nope, it's not this yarrow. So no matter how excited we were that we wanted it, we didn't take it. Because there's a reason why we're not supposed to, it's not ready to be picked. And what we do in plant medicine too is we just cut like this much off, because this part will keep growing. We just cut a few leaves off because the plant will keep growing and producing. So we don't pull it up out of the earth. We cut maybe the first few inches off. If you are working with a root, then of course you do have to dig it up and take the root, but that's a different situation. And I feel like most people will not go to roots in the beginning. So yeah, I just wanted to share that because I want people to get out there today and start collecting and drying and working. And that can be another live that we do where we talk more, and Ray and I can show how to make the medicine and instruct people in advance what to grab, you know what I mean, if possible.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I think it would be awesome. I see us making medicines together.
Oh, I think this would be great. I mean, I love this too. And you guys, if you have, information or ideas of things that you want us to do videos on, maybe we want to pick different plants, and talk about different plants and go through the same situation with a new plant, learn more about it. I think that's amazing. I do like the idea of solely honoring each one I want to add to that, this is going to take us just a little multidimensional, but that's okay, because we have to remember from a physics standpoint, every now is new. We don't change the earth we're on. You raise your vibration to move to a version of an earth that is more in alignment with the vibration of what we're all talking about, where everybody relative to that frequency moves to that version of the earth where we're already practicing these things. So let's just start with that idea and remember that we're moving our vibration to a new version of earth. Now, let's just sit on that idea for just a second, because many of us understand, me included, when these guys walk around this neighborhood, we live in a gated community here with the homeowners association, in which we can tell them not to spray our yard, but it doesn't matter what happens in the entire rest of the neighborhood, where our dogs are walking, we're walking, it's on our feet, it's on our hands, it's on our dog's paws, they're licking it, bringing it in the house. We have choices. We have choices that we can make, and we can put our choices out there and our preferences out to the world. Now, if your idea is marching against something, that's fine. If that is the vibration that you choose to demonstrate your preference. However, we prefer to be in the vibration of, I'm not blind to what's happening to this earth, but I'm going to do exactly what we're doing here today. And all of us are going to raise our vibration together and move to a version of earth, Tara, that is where we all decide to dwell together. That version of earth still exists, the one that sprays chemicals. And we have to know and allow that is why we have a preference, why we choose. This is why we choose. So with that said, yes, we can talk about the spraying all day long, but that's not going to solve the problem. What solves the problem is doing the work that we're doing today, now, here, this way, and practicing it. Because the more we bitch about and put energy into the flow of something we don't want, the more we create the reality in which we're going to keep seeing it. That's how physics works. So this is not just about plant medicine. It's about plant medicine and how does it create a multidimensional connection where we understand this stuff on much higher levels. So there's so much more that we can share with all of this. So please, leave us your comments, where do you want us to take this stuff? Because Dave and I could put out content all day long because I'm so excited about the stuff that we do. And I've got, I don't know, maybe 1,100 videos or something over the last 6 years or something. I even talk about sun tea in my videos and how the sun and the light codes and speaking light languages and brewing your tea outside in the sun. Spring's coming, you guys. It's warm. Brew your tea outside. If it's too cold, put it in a sunny window. There's light information in the sun that's feeding your tea. Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. And it's helping you become your abilities to change the actual circuitry in our brains to facilitate higher understanding, to get an epiphany about how do you create this new free energy device, or a way to telepathically connect to each other, or purify water, or the list goes on.
Yes, for everybody everybody who's out there and who's struggling with the flow of information, with too many things going on and too much output and stuff like that, the lack of exposure to sun and to the light.
Yes.
If you would not upgrade if you don't update your phone for a long time, it's going to struggle with the flow of information and everything that's happening, right?
Good way to put it.
You need to update your phone every day. So every day your system requires this connection, this light, this energy, this information. You need to update your system every day. Update your system so that water that contains in the light code. That is then what you can do for everybody who is working for many hours somewhere in a room, right, and cannot see.
Yes.
And goes to work when it's dark, comes home when it's dark, whole day gone, and works away at the so the light codes and the water and the light of the sun, that was very, very valuable information. Thank you so much. Very, very.
Oh, it's absolutely. But see, this is the thing, you guys, we all take this stuff for granted that it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter, that the little things don't make a difference. Yes, they do. It is the little things. Dave and I, when I moved in with Dave a little over a year and a half ago, or something like that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He was drinking this Icelandic water, which is literally glacier water. And this one is 8.4% pH. Now there's another version of this, also glacier melt water, but it's 9.3 pH. So now the 9.3 I don't drink all the time because it makes me thirsty. I don't feel as satisfied, but there's times when my body says to me, you need more alkaline, you need to drink that water instead of this water. So it's all about choices. And maybe you have a belief system that says, I can't afford that. Actually, here in the United States, this is relatively inexpensive. It's like $2.50 a bottle, and it's a big bottle. So it's about choices. When you make a choice like this, it tells your higher self, I'm ready for more. So it's about, because it's a belief system, right? That you can't put good water in your mouth. So these are all things that we could share and share and share, but you see how we can go on all of these. There's so many beautiful threads to follow here. And this is what I've been doing for years. And I'm so happy to have met Ostara and that she is already doing this. And I wanted to say too, you guys, she's never, right? You've never done a live thing like this, right? On YouTube, is that correct?
Never.
I mean, so she's in Vancouver. Tell everybody where you are and her her links to all her stuff is in the description of the video and on the post and everything. So you can go see her stuff. But I want to hear from her. You know, she's in Vancouver. She does one-on-one work. So tell us about what your Ray's days are like. And I don't want to ignore Ray because this is her sister. I met Astara on my Earth sister's birthday. So there's this other connection too. And I believe that Ray is also a Virgo. So is Dave. All 5 planets. All 5. He's like the nurturer. I cannot even tell you guys. So, but anyway, I want to let you speak and tell everybody where you are, what you do, how they can find you and work with you guys in person. Dave and I are here in Miami, Florida area, Fort Lauderdale. We're here. Come visit us. Come hang out. You want to come and hang and do an event with us. You want to do a live event. You want to do, just let us know. We're always looking to do more things and more hands-on, one-on-one meeting people. That's how I met Dave. I did my first light language public event for the first time ever in Fort Lauderdale. That's how I met him in person. So this is how we find each other. But I met him because I was putting myself out there doing light languages on YouTube, and he happened to see a video, and that's how we found each other. So this is why this is why we share our shine. Oh, share our shine. Somebody's probably already said it. Share your shine.
Oh my God, I love you, Wendy. Thank you. As you said, I'm in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Predominantly, yeah, I work in person. I've only done one Zoom, what we call a satsang, which is just teachings about what is relevant of the moment, channelings, teachings, similar to this, but it was private. So you're opening me up to the world of public, which is great because I needed that kick in the old butt. You know what I'm saying, sister? So I work one-on-one with people. I channel similar. It's very similar to you, except I don't do the light codes as of yet. I have no idea what the universe has in store for me, but I channel to help people rebirth into it through the birthing process. I call myself a rebirthing doula, you know, helping people remember who they really are and allowing that to be and whatever that looks like. I'm also a Reiki master, so I do energy healing. I'm dabbling in the sound healing, so doing sound healing stuff. I'm a shamanic practitioner, so, you know, I do shamanic healing sessions. I'm really into the plant medicine, herbal stuff, crystals, you know, I kind of dabble in all of it. So I can work with people virtually as long as it's not the shamanic appointments, because you really do need to be in front of each other. Also, we do a jewelry line. I'll show you this as a healing hand. But we have a jewelry line that we do. Ray and I are just launching a new workshop series right now that unfortunately people will have to be in person for, but it's working with clay and melding art and healing together. So again, it's what the divine wants right now. And I don't know about you, Wendy, because there's always those repeated messages and synchronicities of the teachings that they want to come through. But what the divine wants right now is for people to rebirth, right, into their ascension process, the remembering, so their soul's mission can become apparent. So we can all be, as you said, raising our vibration into the frequency of the earth, the version of earth that we want, shine that light out to the world and keep co-creating with each other the existence that we know is possible, right? We're dreaming in the new world. We're pioneering the new world. So Ray and I, through the jewelry, Ray is also, I'll let Ray talk about, well, she's also a shaman and healer.
Yeah, I don't take clients yet. But I also know Reiki, Reiki master. I did all the same earth-based shamanic teachings as Michelle, Astara. And right now, a lot of the work that I do is just connecting with nature, connecting with animals, and through my artistic practices. And just a lot of what I didn't know I was doing all through my artistic creative life was letting the art come to be through itself. So I think a lot of artists will say, like, I created this, but what it really is for me is like the creation creates itself through me. And when we did our earth-based shamanic learning and we learned about everyone's a creator and we're all a channel of creation, then I understood more. That's what was happening. Like
You were channeling, is what you're saying.
essentially, yeah. It's like, okay, what does this fabric want me to do with it? Oh, this is a horse, you know? And then I would fall in love with the creation because, okay, I made it, but it was like, I got to have this beautiful experience of this thing coming into being that I had a connection with through it. And then by virtue of that, other people had a connection to it.
Because spirit was woven into it.
I love how you said that because, you know, some of us have these experiences and we think we're crazy. One of the things I've always loved doing is making quilts. And what you just said about the fabric is really weird because the quilt tells a story depending on what you use, but the fabric itself would talk to me, I swear to God. And it would be like, use this piece, this square, this section, this color, bring this element into it. And I didn't plan it ahead. And it was, and yet each stitch, even my sister said to me, I feel you and your energy in every stitch.
And you know what we call this? Also working in reciprocity with the earth mother to create. And that is a big thing that we are bringing into these workshops, is the idea that when we co-create, because most people say, well, I'm not the artist. I mean, we could talk for days about our relationship of her being the artist and not me, and me being a blocked artist. No, we're all creators, as she said. We just all do it in a different way. But when you try to force a creation versus being in reciprocity with the earth mother and allowing spirit to work through you in 3D, that's what the Michelangelos do. That's what the amazing singers of the world, that it feels like God is singing through them, because God is singing through them as they are the divine. We're all a reflection of that. So bringing that into people's awareness, because it has been such a painful journey for me, having a very creative sister, having a very creative dad, having a very creative brother, and me thinking that I didn't get any of that. Now I know that to not be true, right? I know that old story, but it's 41, and I think it's really hit home in the past year. And I've been working at it for years, Wendy. So this reciprocity, you know, Ray, she was doing it on her own, and then she received the teachings about understanding the co-creating and the reciprocity, had her aha moment. Well, the same for me. I cook intuitively. I've said for years I'm an intuitive cook, and people are like, I don't need to know how much salt or garlic. I don't even have to taste it. And it is, people are like, you should open a restaurant. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm channeling. I was just channeling. I didn't realize that. I was just channeling. Because cooking is a way we create every day, and people don't realize that, right? So we got to start recognizing, how do we create? I always created with people. I've been the organizer, the networker, the unifier. You know what I mean? And it's like,
I do. Do I? Yes.
I know you do.
I laugh what you said about cooking because I have the same situation, and it's like I do this. It's like, how can I creatively make something really quick and really healthy, and using, you know, Dave goes to the farmer's market and buys these beautiful vegetables, and it's like, okay, I'm not a chef. I don't watch Food Network. I don't, you know, but I just look at it, I cut it up, I start putting things together. And the other day I made some just beautiful soup and some, you know, and but yet everything, it's like we're recognizing the value of each of the ingredients and the power that, you know, that bunch of parsley, that bunch of cilantro, that bunch of, you know, the carrots, the beautiful carrots, and all of those things, the celery, the things that went into it, make it so beautiful. This, you know, gorgeous. And I think, I don't really know how to cook. You know, it's just, you know, I've had a lot of practice. Let me say, I raised 2 boys. I know all about cooking. So, but yeah, I wouldn't call, like, even Dave and I were talking about that, it was yesterday about, I said, I'm not a chef. You know what I mean? Because I don't, but he's like, well, if you're cooking, you're a chef. And it's like, but a chef knows what the heck they're doing, you know? But
They have more
intuitive.
limitations. They have more
They're
limitations.
intuitive.
Rules.
That's an art.
Yeah.
It's an art. But they also go to school to understand the basics, but it's still an art. It takes an artist to become a chef, right?
Oh, absolutely. And when I'm imagining when you're cooking, like what you're talking about, well, for me, I'm not like, because of my dietary restrictions, I'm not using any sauces or anything pre-made. I cook cleanly, so I can only use fresh whole things that do not come out of a package. They do not come out of a jar. So again, to be able to create on that level where you're taking what Dave has got from the grocery store, and it's like, it's pure magic. And we should be proud of ourselves, basically.
And you reminded me when you were talking about the herbs and stuff in season that I grow just in a flower pot, oregano, thyme, mint, peppermint, spearmint. And I literally, you guys, I swear, I go out to the patio and pull off, you know, ask the plant.
Yes. What wants to try?
Who would like, yes.
Oh my goodness. I love
Oh,
it.
yes. Always I ask permission. Always. And who would like to join us in this energy, this beautiful energy exchange? And each little strand will tell me which one to pick, which I will touch it. Nope, not that one. Then the next one. And I have this beautiful greenery in front of me, and it just all goes into the soup and all this beauty. I'm telling you, you think it doesn't matter, but when you just live that way, it's, and it's not like we have a bunch of space and stuff. We don't. They're just in flower pots, you know. It's because that's what I have today. So it's about doing what you can with, and making the choices. You know, it's funny. I told Dave that the other day too. You go to the grocery store and you can buy a little bit of fresh sprig of, like, you know, cilantro, parsley, and it's already cut and it's in the grocery store in a plastic container. I swear to God, for the same $3.99, I turn around and there's a whole fresh plant.
Yeah.
Right behind me.
Absolutely.
I took the plant home instead.
Yes.
Now I've got, like you say, a continuous amount. And all I have to do is take off a little piece and say, who would like to join us today, while the rest of it grows and flourishes.
I love this. This is so good for people to hear.
It's simple stuff, but it makes us different. It makes us physiologically different. It raises your vibration to you're new every now anyway. You might as well be the best new you can be now, right? And I'm not perfect, believe me. I'm not perfect. We eat junk food. There's times I'm laughing at him. When you said marshmallow, I'm laughing because I swear to God, you guys, Dave and I started craving freaking marshmallows. Marshmallows, yes. Actual puffy white marshmallows, I admit it. But there we were the other night having a fire in our fire pit on the patio in the courtyard, in the backyard. We call it the courtyard. And there we are roasting marshmallows over the open fire and had the best time. It's like, are they good for me? No. You know, are they? But you know what? That experience was really good for me.
Yes. Abso-freaking-lutely.
That's the resistance that we got to let go of. Be okay with that. It's the experience. If you're new every now, you know damn well the sugar you just ate, it's gone. But that doesn't give you permission to be sloppy with your diet either. No, exactly. Not the point here.
Because you're talking about the balance. That's what you're talking about. And this is about the balance. It's finding the balance between tuning in. Is this okay for me? Yes. Spirit wants you to have that joyful experience in front of the fire. Even I would be like, Wendy, give me some of those. You know, this is not perfection. As you said, we're already perfect in the eyes of the divine. We don't have to, you know, it's the balance. It's the balance. So you're talking about balance.
So yes, there's so many things we can ways we can go explore all this. We're so excited about all this. Is there anything else you'd like to share? Now you guys do clay, is that correct? You do
Yes.
You do clay classes, is that correct?
Yes. And so it's teaching similar to what we're talking about today, ritual, meditation, helping people remember the connection with the Earth Mother. There's so many teachings about Earth Mother that, you know, we hear about spirit, the divine, the universe all the time. It's been up here for years, right? But with this plant medicine stuff and what you're talking about, this new now, it's bringing it back to the earth and then having that conduit of the two of them. So I find that people really understand the idea of spirit, but a lot of people don't really understand about Earth Mother. And this is where I'll mention to people, because we talked about this, Earth Mother's name has changed. It's no longer Gaia. It is Tara. Okay, so she's Earth Mother Tara, Goddess Tara. She has a soul in her, like every one of us. We all came from the divine, the galactic universe. You know, she shares a soul. So she was teacher. Her Akashic record vibration was teacher, but this winter solstice, she flipped to healer. So Tara is now healer, and we want to bring these teachings in for people to understand more about this and connecting with her core crystalline wisdom, how to access that, the Akashic records of the Earth Mother. We do this in these workshops and also get people to tangibly be having their hands in the clay. What are their past lives that they've worked with this? What are their connections to the clay? What can they create out of this, working in reciprocity, not in fear, saying, I'm not an artist. This is what we're going to be unraveling and exploring with people. We're very excited. It's new. So we haven't even had the first workshop yet.
Oh, I'm so excited to be able to even talk about this then right now. So this is your first one coming up. See, you guys, I start to see all this stuff like, is it okay to put plant material in clay? Will it burn? Is that allowed? And then I'm like, I've got all this stuff going through my head. And then it's like, and then when we were talking the other day about sending you like light codes, you know, the drawings that I do, actually, I started bringing, I just started writing today. Now remind today, you guys, it's an 11 days. So the master class, master number, I always cover up, Dave, sorry. So I started getting just little symbols and things like that. So we were talking about, you know, like getting symbols and drawing them in the clay and searing it in the kiln and, you know, setting the intention in the clay. And then, so now just as you're talking, I'm thinking about plant material and that kind of thing, you know?
There are, and we won't dive into it again. We can,
because there's so much more, but it was like, I get this vision.
It's in the glazing specifically, but we can also take plants and press it into the clay.
That's what I meant. Yes.
The other thing I did want to mention, because again, synchronicities. So these workshops will also focus on the solar healing in the solar energy.
Perfect.
That's another reason you and I met, because the moon. Yes, we know about the moon. The moon. We love you, moon. You know, Mother Moon, we love you. However, the moon does affect people negatively. It interferes in a lot of people depending what their placements are in their galactic astrology chart. So moving away from moon, coming to sun, and then we'll again form that balance between the two once people understand more about the solar healing properties. So that will also be woven into this, earth and sun. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm very excited for you guys, and I'm happy that we got to be a part of this new thing for you guys too, to share this with the world. And like I said, all of her links are in all of the, you know, the links from this YouTube video and on my Facebook link and all that. White Willow Healing. Is there anything else you wanted to add to that as far as where you are, how to find you, anything else?
I'm predominantly on Instagram when it comes to social media. I'm just starting to replay with Facebook, so I will start building Facebook.
And everyone can feel free to put their chats and stuff here in the live chat or put it on my Facebook page. So yeah, if you you know, if you want to do more of this kind of stuff too,
absolutely.
You know that, and then you can give me your Instagram link as well. I thought I put it in. I put your Instagram link also in the information for this participation thing. So it's already all in the video description, and so you guys can find her there. I'm very excited that I got to meet her sister Ray today.
Oh yes, me too. Thanks.
I'm really happy.
And Dave, I feel like we're the gruesome foursome already.
I know. I said the four of us are trying to hang out. You know.
Yeah. Matching, and Ray and Dave are matching with the colors. So look at that.
Oh, that's what I know. And I have to say, Ray, I just absolutely love your outfit. I love the geometry. I love the playfulness of it. I do. I loved it all. And so, yeah, I'm excited that we have all this beautiful yellow solar energy. And so, yeah, I love it. And we're moving into now, you guys, from today, we're moving out of the water sign of Pisces. We're going to be moving into the fire sign of Aries. I know very little to nothing about astrology, but I just wanted to say hi and to all of you fire signs out there. And that's really what this is, you guys, about bringing the fire up into us, sharing our light, sharing our brilliance. I'm going to post that little video I did this morning with the yellow solar plexus energy. It was just so beautiful. And I was totally inspired by you and us and doing this today. So I just wanted to put that out there as well. So I'm really excited to do more stuff. I'm looking forward to having you guys on again and sharing more plant information. This is so nice. And the more that you can teach us, and I love the tea ceremony. It was just such a beautiful way to connect with the plant energy and immerse ourselves in its unique beauty. And each and every one of you and all of your unique beauty. It's been such a wonderful day. I'm so blessed to be able to do this stuff. I'm so blessed, and I'm thankful for the technology that allows us to do this, and to all of you guys who joined. And I know everybody can't stay, you can't watch it all. I get it, but we thank you for all of your participation. And one of the beauties of doing these live events is when we go off the air, a lot of times we stay, we hang out in the room, we make contacts and share our experiences. Maybe sometimes people aren't always comfortable with sharing online, on the air, maybe on camera. So we do like to do that as well. I know we're going to probably be getting going to have our dinner here soon too. Yeah. But yeah, I guess I wanted to leave everybody with a little light language blessing. If there's anything that I can do for you, or Dave and I, we do private sessions. It's just by voluntary donation, and whatever you may have to share with us is always welcome. I've received so many wonderful gifts from so many of you. Your thoughtfulness, the literal, the way the meaning and the thoughtfulness that goes into these things is so wonderful. Your monetary donations are always appreciated. So all of this is just, it's all just voluntary, in that whatever I can share with you and whatever you can share with me, that is the beauty of the exchange. And so sometimes it's even technical support, or maybe you want to do a video together. Maybe you want to come on the channel. Maybe you want to tell your experiences. All of these are sharing. All of that is abundance. All of that is, because it expands all of us. And so I was joking the other day about people transcribing videos and things like that, because it's things like that I don't do, I don't like to do that stuff. So, so all of those things are coming into play. Dave and I have been deeply involved in the Global People's Monetary System, where basically it's abundance for all and then no money at all. Ooh, that even rhymed. That was funny.
I love it.
So that is a thing. We are literally we're moving into, what if you were the only value you had? What if you were the only form of exchange you had? What if money wasn't a thing? What would you do every day when you got up? How would you give to humanity? What would you give to the world if you already had absolutely every single thing you needed on an ongoing basis? What would you do?
Sharing.
Yeah. Sharing. I wanted to share really quick, guys, if I can, because of this water that you were talking about and the pH level, and I think this is so important. And at the same time, you know, you talk about money and how, you know, we have to, you know, for if people want to, like, for example, drink this more better water, right? They think they have to spend more money on it. But this is this beautiful opportunity for us to show ourselves how powerful we really are, because the moment you touch the glass with the water inside of it is already changing. It's
Yes,
already changing the moment you touch the water, and then you put your intention.
that's true.
You put your intention into the water, and right there the pH level is changed. If you want, you can go get your little kit and test it before and test it afterwards, and you're going to confirm to yourself how powerful you are. And you can even write a little bit something on the water: law of healing. Put it onto the glass, leave it there
Yes.
for a minute. There's
Well,
your
wisdom. I drink the wisdom, you know, water
yeah,
from my wisdom
there's
glass.
your light code. There's your intention right then and there. You know, so you don't have to spend more money on water, but you know, you can use this as this beautiful.
That's absolutely true.
You know,
I completely agree with
And
you.
we saw a little Bashar clip earlier today that he was basically saying, walking into the room is all you need to do to change the frequency of the room.
ooh,
Everything else,
Yes, and purify
everything
it.
else is just you are complicating it more.
Yep. They said
you are the permission slip. You are the permission slip.
You are the permission. You are the sage. You are the purification. And you know, it's funny because the next card that came up was the same card that came up that day when we were together, was purification. And I think it's one of the plants that was one of the ones I couldn't read. Oh, burdock.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the, so we're talking about purification. You're absolutely right. As soon as you believe it, it's true. I wholeheartedly agree with you. But not everybody has that belief system today.
Of course, it's all right. Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
Right. And that's why we're teaching people. Sometimes if you can't get from there to there, but you can, you know what I mean? If you
Yeah,
can,
what right?
so-
Exactly. And it's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
but
Whatever
it's
permission
true.
slip works for you, right?
And she and Astara proved that today too, that we become the essence of the plant itself. And then you are the sage. You walk in the room, you purify the room. You become the dandelion in your imagination. You bring its healing properties into you. That is how this works. And this is what the teachers of the teachers are teaching. And if you're here, if you're participating, if you're watching, even for a moment, you are a teacher of the teachers, and you, it is a privilege and an honor and a joy that all of you take something with you today that allows you to be better teachers of the teachers. So I want to thank all of you. I know we've run a little bit over. I did want to keep it as close to short as possible. Thank all of you for joining us today. I'm so excited that I got to meet all of you. Thank you, Beverly, for being here and sticking it out with us. Miss you, love you. I know you guys are looking for us to get back to doing Fridays and stuff, and we are working towards those things. Our situation here is just a little bit unique, but we've got lots of things in the hopper. And so we're really excited to share. And this is one of the reasons why I just said, do this today. So, because it's been a while and I really wanted to be sharing more and more. We want to be sharing more and more of our experiences with all of you. So thank you so much, Ostara and Ray, for being here. All of you. It's been just once again, an amazing experience. And again, I'm still reeling from our experience last night. Artur, thank you so much for that beautiful crystal skull healing. Oh, and you know, I got to say, I love your work. I love your music. I love what you do. I love everything you do. And I would love for you also to either on Facebook or the chat, live chat on YouTube, you know, help people find you, connect with you, your music, the things you share on Facebook. I love everything you do. I'm so happy we met. I knew last night, we knew. So we did he set up this beautiful display last night for this wonderful crystal skull meditation. And it just so happened that Dave had just recently bought a set of the crystal skulls, the 13 and so it was just wonderful. So if you guys can check it out, it was just a wonderful exchange. It was a beautiful energy. And I just wanted to thank you for that too. And we're just so blessed to meet all of you. So I could talk all day because I love you. And I love you, Dave. Thank you for all your help. Thank you for all of his technical expertise. most of you know I don't do technology. I don't edit my videos. So it's like I'm learning, I'm getting better, but it's really, I'm not doing it, he is. But we're not about pretense and all that. It's about keeping it raw, keeping it real, and just being who we are. But if we can make technology better and share dandelion images during a tea ceremony, then thank you, Dave, for putting that together for us. So it was really wonderful, and it did really lend to the energy of the day. It did. They're still running in the background the whole time, and I loved it. I'm so pleased with that. So thank you. See how something so simple, though, you guys, can go such a long way. So I love you. Goodbye. I'm going to go offline, or I'll keep talking all day. So
Blessing, light language blessing.
Oh, okay. Light language blessing. Okay.
Oh, good job, Dave. Good job.
I know. I do that too. I go off the air and I go, oh my God, I forgot to do light language. Nisabe so me ki alasana so mi aru koshe tayasana tela. Mi ami te la kosova sinasala kia nisi miso teliamaru kosete. Mi maya la kuteveshe ma aya tara she sanamaso. Ta ia nakili te vexomariava ai nakisete inane tiarokose I ala iliana kela sotovashinete I aya kasamasovishnose siva sonote ti ala kato. Don't be afraid of your own fire, your own reflection, your own brilliance, your own beauty. Nala kose nyashara akya. I love you. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank
Love
you.
you guys. Okay, how do I stop the live now? I like where, oh, maybe Dave's